Three men and a microphone. Like a breakfast show, but not at breakfast. And with no music. And it's a podcast. So nothing like a breakfast show, really.
I got sent an email from someone that is connected to one of us three. And this one of us three is Darren's wife. Yes.
My wife's been in touch.
Yes, your wife has emailed me. I believe you may be sleeping in separate rooms at the moment because she's not very happy with you. And I believe it might be because during the night, you sort of sound a bit like this.
Now, I didn't think the new Jurassic Park was out until next year. But what the sweet Jesus was that?
Just to picture the scene. I'm lying in bed with the wife. Hi, babe. You all right? Yeah, I'm absolutely. Yeah, it's fine. Let me just take the mask off and we'll have a smooch. When we've all finished, instead of cuddling and going, love you too, we go, I'm going to turn over and mask up again.
Oh, you don't want it, do you?
These Three Media. Three Men and a Microphone podcast. So it's time for Damien's Bits.
So this is a bit in the podcast that we hand over to Damien for his bits. Have you got a juicy bit for us today, Damien?
I've got 2 bits today for you. Yeah, 2 bits.
Now, bits?
Are they dangling bits?
Do you know what? This is more of a wet bit and a juicy bit.
I got dumped over a wet bit once.
Juicy and wet.
This is interesting because, Darren, you're a man that...
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm staying in on the demo.
Darren, you're a man that likes to finger.
Fudge? What?
So, now, I saw this, and again, when I do these you've corpse, haven't you? You've gone.
He's not going to do this.
I don't know which one he's gone, a finger or the other one.
3 men close to a midlife crisis. 3 microphones, 1 Zoom call, all lead to this. On the 3 Men and a Microphone podcast.
Going on. Oh, actually, I did that.
I mean, really?
Hang on. Wait for it.
You didn't get this?
Once or twice a week.
Comes along on this station. Who spoke? Darren?
No, it wasn't me.
It was you, right?
Yeah.
Quiet.
I'd meet him if I were you.
A bit of phlegm.
Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. I haven't even done the tray. Right.
Right, F-bomb.
This is 3 Men and a Microphone on the As Yet Unnamed podcast.
So we just saw a bear through a little hole in the fake cave that they made.
A little what? Sorry?
He was looking through the mirror.
No. Let's go back. A little what?
A little bear.
No. Before the bear, you said the bear, but before the bear, you said what? What was that word?
What's wrong?
What was the word? Say the word.
Oh.
3 Men and a Microphone. Like a breakfast show, but not at breakfast. And with no music. And it's a podcast. So nothing like a breakfast show, really.
Evening, everybody. Hello, good evening, welcome along. 24 hours later than normal. We'll get onto that at some point during the show. My name is Ian Barstow. Welcome to 3 Men and a Microphone from These 3 Media, live on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. Thank you to everyone that's watching. Good evening to everybody that is out there. And hello. Welcome to the show. Hope you're going to enjoy it. Hello, Damien.
No, we're live.
Yes.
Twitter. We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. And last week, let's just throw it out there, was one of the most downloaded episodes ever. Thank you.
It was. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So if you can carry on with that, please, we'll be very much appreciated. Hello, Darren.
Hello, how are you? We are live, and I'm grateful to be alive.
We will come on to why. We will come on to that. But yes, we weren't on yesterday because Darren hasn't been very well the last couple of days, but he is back and fighting fit now. So we are back. For once, it wasn't Damien's fault that we were delayed by 24 hours. So
I must admit, I was enjoying everybody pointing the finger at them. I'm going, he's getting blamed again.
No, do you know what I mean? It was like, we're not doing a live show. It must be Damien. Oh, there he is.
Your
Done it
fault.
again.
Yeah, 4 strikes.
yeah, all your fault. And I will say thank you to Anthony for the offer. You were very quick to jump on the fact that you could come and join us for the whole show, if needs be.
And all
Anthony
of a
was
sudden,
like
I felt better.
Anthony was like a buzzard, wasn't he? Just above. Seeing Darren's corpse, he was just like, oh.
More of a vulture.
Yeah, vulture.
Yeah, what's a buzzard?
It is a bird of prey, but not that one.
A bird of prey.
A bird of prey. A bird of prey. Yes, a bird of prey, darling.
Lovely, darling. Marvellous. Good.
So yeah, if you are following us from listening to us on podcast radio, then hello and welcome. Thank you. If you haven't listened to us on podcast radio, please do so. We're on every weekday at 4:00 in the afternoon for the next 2 weeks. Or 2 and a bit weeks. And we also repeated at 2 a.m. So if you really can't sleep, then listen to us at 2 a.m. in the morning and you will probably end up asleep by about 2:15. But you can go and listen to us anyway. If you see any sort of posts about that, share that as well, because the more listeners we get on there, the better. The start of many things for this year. Don't you agree, Damien and Darren?
It is, yeah. We're very excited. Ian and I, because Darren was wasn't available for a meeting that we had earlier in the week. But yeah, exciting things coming that hopefully you're going to enjoy, and we can bring some more content to you as well. But certainly check us out on podcast radio. They're on DAB in Manchester, London, and Glasgow.
And Surrey.
There we go. And if not, just put it into Google and podcast radio will come up and you can listen to us as well. So yeah, it's all exciting.
Damien, can I just ask you, because I vetoed you getting your first radio gig. I blackballed you, if you remember the story.
You did actually, yeah. Thank
what's
goodness.
it feel like now to be on a radio station properly? With
yeah, I mean, I never resented you for it at all. Never.
Never ever. One day, Darren, he will get his revenge. He will. It's true. Right, so coming up on the show today, we're going to have all the usual bits. We've got a Retro Hall of Fame from Justine Riddoch. Is that right?
It is right.
Thank you. Because on the running order, I've just put Tina. But yeah, it's Justine Riddoch, who is from Totally Tina, who is a live Tina concert alternative, I think is a good way of describing it. We've got an interview with her coming up in a week on Sunday. So anyway, we'll explain all that during the show. Say hello on the comments. Hello to Anthony and Dunk, Colin and Bryn, who I know are listening for definite, and also for those on the YouTube channel as well, and everywhere else that we are. So should we crack on?
Let's do the show. Enjoy.
Let's do this. Enjoy this. Episode number 43 of 3 Men and a Microphone. Now, let's see if I actually get the right jingle this time.
3 Men and a Microphone. Like a breakfast show, but not at breakfast. And with no music. And it's a podcast. So nothing like a breakfast show, really. These 3 media: Ian Barstow, Damien Lee, Darren Antrobus. 3 Men and a Microphone podcast.
Hello, welcome to 3 Men and a Microphone, episode 43. Thank you so much for downloading this episode of the podcast. My name is Ian Barstow. Welcome along. Hope you've had a good week since the last time we spoke. Unless you're listening to us back to back, in which case, yes, we're still here. We will never leave your ears. Joined as ever by Damien Lee. Hello, Damien.
Hello. Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon. Whatever time zone you're in. Oh, yeah. Could be any time, really. I don't even know what time it is.
Well saved. Hello, Darren.
Hello. 43, you say?
43.
So in 9 weeks, it'll be our 1 year anniversary.
I just tried to work that out, but I realised I'm not very good at maths.
Yes.
I just did 43 minus 1.
No, 52 minus 43. Yeah, it is 9 weeks will be our 1 year anniversary.
That's amazing.
How scary. How scary. I know. But...
Did we start? So what would that be in 9 weeks? Is that April?
We started, episode 1 was out in June time.
June, I think.
Yeah.
In 9 weeks will be in June.
Yeah. I know. It was June time, I think. We did the first episode of the, as it was then, 3 Men and a Microphone. No, yeah, that one. The one we don't mention, that's what it was.
Let's be honest, it's gone downhill. To be honest.
Yes, we've tried many different things. Some of them work, some of them don't. Coming up on today's show, we're going to have On The Box. We've got the Retro Hall of Fame and Damien's Bits. On the Retro Hall of Fame this week, we've got Justine Riddoch, who is from Totally Tina, picking her Retro Hall of Fame. You'll be able to hear that shortly, or later on in the show. And all the usual bits and pieces as well. If you want to find out more, head over to the website 3menandamicrophone.co.uk. Search us on Twitter and Facebook, 3 Men and a Microphone. You will find us all on there and follow us all on our social media. And if you are listening to us after having listened to us on podcast radio, hello and welcome. Thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed us on there. If you're sat there wondering what is podcast radio, we are on there for the next 2 weeks when this goes out. Every evening at 4 p.m. and 2 a.m. You can hear our show on podcast radio for our first season, and it's very exciting, don't you think?
It is very exciting. So yeah, you can hear us if you're in Manchester, London, Surrey, or Glasgow. You can hear us in your car on DAB, or at home, or wherever you are. And then if you're not in those areas, just put it into Google Podcast Radio, and you can have a listen to us on there. Ian and I had a meeting this week for another bit of exciting news. We would have been with our fellow presenter, who we will talk about, but unfortunately, he was a corpse at that time. Couldn't talk to him. Sick on him, carrots, diarrhea. Quite frankly, he was a mess. And when he sent me the most pathetic picture I've ever seen of someone, and I'm in recruitment, so when people phone up and they go, I can't come to work. I'm feeling really poor. Darren sent us, and I'm sorry this isn't very visual, Darren sent us a little photo where he put on the most pathetic sick face. It was kind of like...
do you know the sound effect that reminded me of?
Go on.
It's been a while since we've played that one.
Can I explain why I sent that photograph to you? Because I don't like people saying to me, oh, he just wants a night off, or he's just, throwing a sickie, I think the term is. So I just thought...
But you look like a pervert on the photo. It wasn't even like you looked ill.
On one of them, I looked like a toothless wonder, didn't I?
It just scared. I woke up the other night and my wife was like, "You all right?" And I just went, "Darren." And she went, "No, it's Karen. Get out."
Yeah.
Ended up on the landing.
You're having one of those dreams again, Damien.
Oh, no, it's one of them, I tell you. Soaking wet.
I have actually had a dream about this podcast. I can't remember all the details, but when you wake up after a dream and you sort of think, was that a dream? And it was about this podcast, and it was about.
We're dreaming about it. Do you know what? I don't think there's been a day in 43 weeks where one of us hasn't messaged each other. We went from 20 years of no contact to now. Everyone all right? Haven't heard from you. All right.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Talking about dreams, by the way, this is a true story. Actually, it's not one of my stories for tonight, but it is a true story. I dreamt about a week ago that I won the world record of staying on a buckaroo.
A buckaroo?
As in one of those things that toss you round.
Yeah, it's true, yeah.
How long?
I woke up one morning.
So what, saddle sore?
I woke up, no. One
saddle sore wasn't in it.
I woke up one morning and I felt really proud of myself. And then on the way to work, driving in, it dawned on me. I went, "Oh, I'm a dreamer. I won the world record of staying on a buckaroo."
What did you win? You won the record itself.
How long for though? Can you remember the time?
No, I don't know what that is.
What a random thing to dream about.
Were you at the sun somewhere, or like abroad when they've got them abroad, or were you?
It was just this mental kind of, oh, you've won a world record of staying on a buckaroo.
That's amazing.
Don't get it.
But Darren, to explain to everybody why we didn't do the live show yesterday, you've had man flu, haven't you?
I have, yes.
Yeah, but you were poorly. You were a poorly bear.
Mm-hmm.
We were concerned about you. There was various messages. Are you okay? Are you all right? Do you need anything? I think there was even the, do you need some toilet roll? We were all there for you, but you look better. You're on the show with us, and hopefully on the box you've got some good content.
I have, actually. I've got 3 or 4 I could choose from, so it's still right now I don't know which one to go with.
Brilliant. Can I just say how our relationship has developed as well? Before, normally, I don't get to come to the pre-meeting of this show because I turn up about a minute to go.
Yeah, very true.
But today, I had a bit of time, and I came on to the pre-meeting, and old Gok1, Ian, just kind of went, "What are you wearing? Seriously? I mean, you look like a what are you wearing?" Like I offended him. Like I came in, smacked Bryn over the head. Do you know what? And I even looked at myself, even when Darren went, I thought, this has got to go.
It was. Let me describe what this was. It was a jumper. Well, actually, I didn't know it was a jumper. It looked like a sparkly top. It looked like a sparkly blouse, basically. You know, one of those ones that's got all the sequins on it that women wear when they go out for a night out and the light bounces off it. It looked like that, or it looked like you were about to go on the Royal Variety performance and you were dressing up in your showbiz outfit.
You saw that. I didn't see that. I saw something that Adam Henson would wear on Country File if he's doing a clean piece to camera without his hand up what's it?
His hand up a cow's bum.
It wasn't a great look. So I don't think I've ever darted as fast to the other studio, obviously where the clothes are kept, and changed me top, and now I just look like a private school playing rugby.
I'm sure
we did. Sorry, go on.
I'm sure in person it looks absolutely fine. On camera, it looked terrible.
Oh, it's hideous. Honestly, if you can get footage of that don't ever play it. Awful.
We did notice that you went for blue top and blue bottoms.
Yes, it was a bit of blue on blue.
Good look, is
That's
it?
almost like double denim.
Well, I've got a T-shirt. Again, this is very visual. I've got a T-shirt, and it is tired, and it is a tyre sleeping.
Oh yeah, because it's like a tyre, isn't it?
Yeah, a tyre on the bed. Yeah.
Roy Walker would be so proud.
Yeah, it's how I feel every day when I wake up.
Say what you see. Oh, say what you see.
As you do.
But it's not right.
So yes,
buzzer. Go on, press your buzzer. Have a wild guess. Say what you see.
Darren, we're very happy that you are better and that you are feeling a lot better.
We've missed you, Dazzler.
We were genuinely concerned, more because I was thinking, we've just done all this work setting everything up, and we might be down to 2 men and a microphone. We'd have to change all the logos and the. I did almost do a logo for you to send it to you, just sort of like a rest in peace over your head.
What?
That was
no, we didn't think you were
man flu.
Yeah, I know.
You've written me off.
You were touch and go for a while. So we were concerned.
Any
about
ladies that listen to 3 men and a microphone, and you want to hear 3 men going through their midlife crises, which let's not beat about the bush, we are.
Oh, with 100%. This is what the show is built on. We first spoke over Zoom after 20 odd years, going, "Oh, what you been doing? Oh, yeah, I've had kids and I've got married and I've got a mortgage and this is how it was created."
Yeah, none of us can afford the Ferraris or Porsches that a lot of men buy for their midlife crisis. We're just doing a podcast.
Yeah, I wanted Damon's still holding on to the radio dream. That's why he's doing this.
I had no idea what you want about. I just come on here because I'm bored. Please take me at a radio station, whichever one you are, please. I don't care. Anyway, speaking of Zoom, you're like this. I don't know whether you've seen this, Ian, because you do see quite a bit of things. Now, I'm not going to tell you his name at the moment. Well, I am, actually. There was a government meeting on Zoom, and there was a man on the Zoom meeting, called Colin Pigeon. So, can't laugh at that, just his name. Anyway, it got disrupted where Colin Pigeon's cat bought into said room. So basically, he's on a Zoom call presenting to this assembly of ministers and all that sort of stuff. So he's there presenting to them, doing his piece, old Colin Pigeon, and the cat brings in a pigeon. It's only ironic, I know it is. Now, he's a research officer. He noticed that his cat had brought in a live bird, and he was discussing public finance at the time, and it was in Northern Ireland. He quickly moved to scoop it up, but the pigeon obviously was still alive. So he started going...
Oh, God.
Now, the irony of this is suddenly from nowhere, and this is a bit like you have no authority here, Jackie Weaver, someone automatically went, Colin Pigeon! He's caught a pigeon! Oh, no! Now it's trending. It's trended. Colin Pigeon caught a pigeon. Now, that's what you get from Zoom, I tell you.
You mentioned it, and we haven't covered it, and I keep meaning to, but it's probably past now. But the local council meeting for Handsworth Council, it was one of the best bits of 8 minutes or 11 minutes of drama that I have ever seen. It was just brilliant.
We have got to get her on this show.
Say again, Darren.
They've done 2 now, the same. The second one they did kicked off.
Yes. It was just, and this is the reason. I live in quite a small village, and we've got a parish council. And my other half has sort of said, "Oh, you should do that. You should be good at that." It's like, no, I have done too many committee meetings. We all know what committee meetings are like. All 3 of us have been involved in a committee for a certain radio station many years ago. We all know what they're like. I know the fact that we almost had to. We did, in fact, call security at one point because people were throwing stuff around the room. That's what committees are like. I do not want to be involved in them.
I don't know if you were ever on the meeting, the infamous meeting, where someone threatened to hit someone with a sign over the head.
I wasn't that one.
And I just couldn't get my breath. It was like, listen, pal, at the end of the day, if you don't put me in these minutes, I'm going to get this sign and hit you over the head.
We did have one, and I don't know if you remember this, Dan. But there was this. I'm not going to name any names, but there was this older couple who were the worst people we ever had involved in that station. And I can't honestly remember their names, but they were broadcasters, couldn't hold a radio show at all, and were just horrible people. And we got rid of them, and then they turned up to the AGM, and literally we were barricading the doors to stop them getting in, and we had to call hospital security to come and escort them out. And they were shouting down the corridor, effing and blinding at us.
That is awful.
But it was just, this is why I would never, ever get involved in committees again.
Didn't you end up as chairman at that station?
I was station manager, and then it closed. It wasn't related. At all. Just wasn't related.
These 3 Media. 3 Men and a Microphone podcast.
So we are on our road. We have our roadmap. Mr. Boris Johnson has announced it a couple of weeks ago. We have found a clip. I think he's been practicing to probably one of his favourite movies. This is Boris Johnson's speech to Bare Necessities.
Just use your common sense and see we'll get out of this mess and be relieved from all our worries and our strife. Just use your common sense and see this roadmap is our destiny. We'll finally have a semi-decent life. When I became PM, all I wanted to do was swan around in number 10 and make your passports blue. But then a virus hit the place and we screwed up on test and trace. We locked the country down case by case and we overused the term hands, face, space. So next time you feel sad, Prime Minister, do you mind clarifying a few things about your roadmap? Yes, of course. We've got the skip it about, but then the just use your common sense and things won't be so bad. Won't be so bad.
There you go. That was Boris Johnson's
Genius.
roadmap out to Bare Necessities.
Very, very good. Very, very good.
just hold that there a second. I believe we are having some issues with Facebook, with it stopping and starting. I think it is Facebook again. So for those listening on the live feed, if you want to join us on YouTube to have a better stable feed, I am just putting the link in the chat room now, and you should be able to go. Facebook is notoriously known for being a bit jumpy on live feeds. It is not our side, and it is not your side. So yeah, if you are having problems with the Facebook feed and you're watching at the moment, click on the link I've just put in the chat for the YouTube stream, and that will be more stable. Right. Thank you. Sorry about that. Just had to get that in there. Clean edit. We will come to you, Darren, I think, next, if we can, please.
I've got two. Shall I do both?
Yes, as long as they're better than last week's non-ghost ghost story.
Baby ghost under the bed
yes,
story.
You know,
which was
honestly,
terrible.
the way you built that up, and I was on a journey with you. I was with you, and I was thinking, Darren, this is going to be a corker, and it was almost like it was. I just can't describe. It was like I opened up a pair of socks on Christmas Day and done that. Love them.
Let me explain to you first of all about that story. The idea of the story was.
Awful.
Don't care. Carry on. Move on. Let's have this week's, please.
Yeah, let's move on then.
Thank
anyway.
you.
If you want to hear the story, go back to last week's episode number 42 and have a listen to it.
Awful.
I did something this weekend that I have. Originally, I would have been embarrassed about, but now it was very comfortable to do. It felt very natural to do.
Has it not felt natural from your teenage years?
Behave yourself. We're not going down that route on this episode.
Oh, okay. Sorry, not that. Something else.
No.
Okay, sorry.
I have many, many times ridiculed and thought less of people for doing this that I fell accidentally into the trap of.
Went to a swingers club.
No, not that at all.
Right.
Something I did in public.
Darren, the trench coat isn't a good look on you, particularly when you haven't got anything on underneath.
You decided to get on one of those little things with the one wheel, what I called unicycle.
Unicycle, yes.
And play the banjo.
No. The people that tend to do. Hang on, the people that tend to do this thing that I'm talking about normally get wrongly kind of stereotyped into the kind of people that I am not.
Right, okay, so you... I'm just trying to think what you may have done. Did you phone an 0898 number?
No.
Did you pay for more than the 10-minute free view?
No.
Did you interact with one of the adult TV channels on Freeview?
No. Listen, I'm just going to tell you what it is.
Did you actually telephone what you thought was a friend, but then realised... Actually, no, it's only Ian Damien that I speak to.
No. Let me tell you what it is.
Okay.
And then I'll have both of your reactions. So.
Okay, I'm looking forward to this. Please please God, make it better than last week's. Ian, get ready. Right. Last week's absolute.
I went to the shop in my pyjamas.
Why on earth would you do that?
Did you know? Or did you just kind of go... I mean, did you put shoes on, right?
I put trainers on and a coat over the top.
And did you have to drive to the shop, or is it like a corner shop around?
The shop is 5 minutes walk and I drove to the shop as well.
Darren!
So you drove... Did you have a coat on as well?
Well, like a fleecy kind of jackety kind of thing. But
had you cleaned your teeth?
I had, yes.
Darren.
It was mid-afternoon.
No.
Broad daylight.
No.
Did they have stains on?
No. I didn't have any underwear on either.
Oh, no. Did they have that little gap? You know, like on pyjamas, sometimes they had that little gap. Oh, no. Seriously, Darren.
I had no socks on, just my trainers.
Oh Darren, no, I'm sorry. That's just... it's just wrong. It's wrong on many levels, and I'm not going to sound snobby. I am going to sound slightly snobby. It's just so common. I'm sorry.
It is, because I've been to the shop before, put my jeans on just to go to the shop, and I've seen people do the same thing, and I've gone.
See, if I go out, I have my jeans, I have my t-shirt on, I put my coat on, I've got a cap. I don't think I've ever shown you the cap. I've got a proper flat cap.
What, so nobody can see you?
Yeah, it's more so the bald head doesn't show. So if I lean down like that,
I can't look at you right now because I've known you for so long, and just the fact that you said you've got a flat cap. Because one of my staff comes in a flat cap, and it suits him because he's got like a skinhead, and I just can't imagine you with that on.
Colin, when you hear this little bit, can you bring up the flat cap for me, please? Thank you. Carry on.
You do like you're a tribute back to Peaky Blinders when you wear it.
Have any of you watched The Bidding Room yet?
No, because I've heard you look like this guy.
Yeah, apparently I look like that guy. So yeah, going back to your story, Darren. No, I think you deserve a punishment for that because it is wrong on many levels and it should not be accepted in social society. No.
I went because I just couldn't be bothered to get dressed, and it was a Saturday afternoon. Right?
Yeah, but for God's sake, you put some pants on, man.
Well,
that's almost as bad as wearing grey tracky bottoms with no underwear on.
Like
that god awful blue jumper that I was wearing.
Yeah, it's just wrong, Darren. I'm sorry.
Anyway,
I expected better from you. Do you know what, Darren? I'm not angry with you.
Do you know what I felt afterwards? I felt really liberated, like I'd just come out of the closet or something. You know what I mean?
Have you been on what sort of antibiotics have you been taking? Because I'm worried for you. Your eyes look a bit wild, I tell you. Oh, he's got the twitch. Let's move on.
Second story, by the way, that I wanted to share with you.
Is it as good as that one?
Yeah, it's about my mum, actually.
What?
I'm sitting down. This is true story, right? Earlier on, sitting downstairs. Phone goes. My mum's on the phone. Hi, Dad. You feeling better? Yeah, I'm feeling better. Yeah. Says, and then she just comes. My mum has a habit of coming out with these things that shock us. So my mum has a habit of wasting money. She's in her 70s, right? And she wastes money on ridiculous things. So she rings up, put her on loudspeaker. Yeah. So you feeling better? Yeah. I'll fetch Millie from school tomorrow. Yeah, okay. Right, okay. I'm getting hypnotised. What? I'm getting hypnotised. Why? Because I want to lose some weight, so I'm gonna pay £110 over 5 sessions to get hypnotised to lose a bit of weight.
Oh, God love her, bless her.
So my wife's sitting there going, she's got more money than sense, that woman, and we just couldn't believe our ears.
Is your mum quite well off?
We never thought so, but obviously, yeah.
It doesn't work though.
We've offered to save her that and say, look, we'll do it for half the price. Give us 50 quid. We'll come in the night and whisper in your ear, you don't need the biscuits.
Brilliant. Because remember those shows, Paul McKenna and stuff.
He's here. Peaky Blinders.
No, I can't. He's going to put the cat.
There you go.
Oh, it's not bad.
Thank you.
That's made you look younger.
Thank you.
I actually think that suits you.
Thank you.
I did.
This is very visual. I do appreciate that. But yeah, that is my.
So Ian has just tried on his little flat cap, and I've known Ian for a long, long time, and he's got like a P-shaped head, like a very little head with just a tuft of hair, and that I've got to say, I think you look quite cute with that.
Ian, can you just repeat after me in a very northern accent, very badly like you normally do? Kane, I've found me dad at the foot of our stairs.
Hang on, northern. Let me get into character. 1 second. Let me channel a character.
Kane.
Someone do a northern accent for me. I can't think of a northern. A up.
Hello.
Hey up, Kane. I found my father at the foot of our stairs.
Hey up, Kane. I found my father on top of the stairs.
You character for Emmerdale.
Not bad. I've got to say,
or it could be Peaky f***ing Blinders.
Wow.
I think he looks younger.
Yeah, but he doesn't look old enough to be in Blinders.
Definitely not, no. But he looks younger in that flat cap.
I'd be a very camp Peaky Blinder.
I was ready to...
All right, my darling, Peaky f***ing Blinders. All right, Bab, how are you doing?
I've never seen it.
You're in the pub,
you
are
actually
you?
look a little bit like Seth from Emmerdale and Betty from Coronation Street. I'd love child.
I don't know who either of them are, so
I think it suits him. I think he can pull it off, to be honest.
Thank you. I'm not going to keep it on because it doesn't help with these headphones. So there we go.
You look bald when you got that on, by the way, because you've got such a high hairline.
But see, that's the reason the camera is angled it this way. Because if I keep my head like that, you can't. If I do that, you can't look. It's really thin in hair.
Does Colin like you in the cap?
He thinks it good. It's a Stetson cap. It is 100% leather cap. brought a country fare because I live in the country, darling.
I know. The other day I got up and Colin said, "What do you want for breakfast?" Yes. I said, "I'll just go and catch it."
Yes, and then I said, "The servants will cook it for us."
You go and walk the dog with a walking stick as well, just to help you hike along.
Not yet. That is the next thing to buy, is a walking
Ian just
stick.
has a branch, doesn't he? Just picks it up.
I just have the shirtless servants carry me around on their shoulders, in the estate that I apparently have. Anyway.
These Three Media. 3 Men and a Microphone podcast.
See, I thought it's a nice cap, that is. I was very self-conscious about wearing that first of all, but I like it.
I think I generally, you know me, I like to take the old mic off. I think that really suits you. Really, really good.
So there you go. Right, that was, blimey, we yattered on then, didn't we? Damien, Darren, anything more?
No, that's it from me.
I'm all out of stories for this week.
Okay, excellent. We'll just say hello to a couple of people. I've got Jane Duffy is watching on my watch party along with Martin and Michelle. Michelle, I miss you. I used to work with Michelle. We sat next to each other and we were like two naughty children in the office. A lot of fun. So there you go. Not that type of fun, Dan. Don't think that way.
Darren, do you want to do a few hellos before we go back onto a clean edit?
No, it's all right.
You got no one watching.
All right.
No, I've got too many. I'm not going to signal them all out.
I'd like to say hi to Michelle, to Jamie, to Stacey, to Lee, and there's quite a few more actually as well. But hi, thanks for listening.
Okay, right. On the box then, ladies and gentlemen, clean edit. The sniff was the edit point. Oh no, I can't not do it now. I'll have to do that again. Right.
Oh, that was brilliant.
Let me take some nicotine. Right, here we go. I'm not starting it again. That can go in. It just sounds like you sniffing, you dirty animal.
Three Media. 3 Men and a Microphone podcast.
Crash the jingle in. This is On the Box. It's where we talk to you and let you know what we've been watching and what we recommend you watch over the last 7 days. I will start. My one this week, Sunday night, 9 o'clock, BBC One, is known for its drama. And this was the one I watched. It's on episode 3. It has just been released when you listen to this. And it was one of those ones I wasn't sure of to start with. But by episode 2, I was like, oh my God, I love this. It is Bloodlands on BBC One.
Why don't we talk about it? Because that's...
Is that yours?
It's mine.
So yes, it is starring James Nesbitt as DCI Tom Brannick and written by Peter Travers, who has directed Dread and Endgame among many others. An executive producer from Line of Duty person, Jed Mercurio or something like that. By the way, Line of Duty is back at the end of March, and I cannot flipping wait. I can't wait for that. So the basic premise is after 20 years, a cold case reopens after a former IRA operative is kidnapped, and a calling card is left for an assassin called Goliath. And it opens up very old wounds because the DCI, his wife, was assassinated by this Goliath. It is brilliant. It is twisty. The final seconds of episode 2 were like, oh my God, where did that come from? Completely out of the blue.
On tonight?
It's on Sunday nights on BBC One. So we're not going to give any spoilers. I half expect Ted Hastings from Line of Duty to turn up on the very last episode, and then it goes into Line of Duty Series 6. That would be amazing. Won't happen. It'd be very good though. But yes, I love it so far.
I'm the same as Ian. So when I first watched it, because I like anything that, what's his name? Cold Feet. What's his name?
Jimmy Nesbitt. James Nesbitt, not Jimmy Nesbitt. He's
such a good actor. And when you hear that Ned Mercury, is that the one who's written Line of Duty? It is so well made. The characters are believable, and it's twisty as well. Darren, if you get a chance to watch this, go and have a watch. It's brilliant. Bloodlands, BBC One, brilliant.
Yes, very good. Highly recommended. And I cannot wait for Line of Duty Series 6. Oh, it's going to be so good. And yeah, it's one of those ones that isn't being streamed in a box set as well, so there's no spoilers and you have to watch it every Sunday. I still like watching stuff week after week. It's much better. Darren, what is yours this week, please?
Mine is one that ended in 2018, so still relatively new-ish, there or thereabouts. Started in 2016. It was on Amazon Prime. It's called Travellers, and it starred Eric McCormack, who was in Will and Grace, if you remember Will and Grace.
Which one was he? Was he Will's best friend?
The guy, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
You don't know, do you?
And he plays Grant McLaren. And this is basically, it's a spin on a time travel kind of thing going on. But basically, it's a load of people that jump into or time travel into the body of somebody who's just about to die at the point that they die. And the travellers have numbers. So Grant McCormack, who's the leader of the travellers from another time or another parallel universe, has a number. So, for example, it could be Grant McLaren is Traveller 369. So 369 jumps into the body of, I don't know, Ian Barstow, who's just about to die and all that kind of stuff. And then he continues. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Am I?
And then he continues to do the mission that they've been given. So there's a bunch of people that have done this anyway. Far too complicated for me to go into a lot of detail right now, though. But you just need to Google it. Google Travellers. That was on Amazon Prime between 2016 and 2018. And they only did about 3 seasons of it. But it's very, very good.
Does it end satisfactorily? Or does it end on a cliffhanger and it's never going to be resolved? Because I can't be doing with a TV show that I watch for a series. It ends on a cliffhanger and then never comes back.
It ends on a cliffhanger because you want to see more, but they never commissioned it again.
Right, so does it tie up the loose ends or does it just end? Because if it just ends, I'm not going to bother.
It does tie up some of the loose ends, but you still want to know what happens to the numbers that have jumped into those dead bodies.
Right, so it sounds like a bad rip-off of Quantum Leap.
Yeah, I've crossed it out.
It is a bad rip-off of Quantum Leap, but it's just like an ensemble version of Quantum Leap.
But it's a bad version of Quantum Leap.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. No holograms.
I don't want you to think. Right. I don't want you to think.
Are you going to moan again?
I don't want you to think I'm having a pop at you, but I just want you to. Right.
What's the matter?
This is kind of a recommendation for people with new stuff. Would you just watch something new? Just anything. Just something new. When did it finish, Darren?
2018, but you can stream it right now. It's on the box. Shut up. Do one. Move on.
What was that? Shut up.
Shut up.
You shut up.
I'll tell you, shut up.
I'll have you. You shut up, you.
Do you know what? I might give
How
that a go,
dare you? You shut up.
It does actually sound quite good. I've written it down. No chance watching that, Ian. Get ready. No chance watching that load of pathetic.
Just to let you know, I have watched 2 episodes of Behind the Eyes, whatever it's called on Netflix. We've got 4 episodes left. It's just it's odd. It's not really going anywhere yet. I'm hoping it's gonna. Yes.
You're about to get onto a train and go on a journey, my friend.
And if you listened, sorry, Darren, go on.
I need to set aside a good 3, 4, 5 weeks to get through Behind Their Eyes.
You will like it. You will like it, Darren.
If you were listening last week, I apologise. I said the film Cherry was out last Friday on the 26th of February. I didn't realise that was the cinema release in order for it to be considered for the Oscars. So it's actually out on Apple TV Plus in 2 weeks' time on the something of April, something like that. So I apologise for that. I got that bit of information wrong. Right, that was on the box.
Can I do mine?
Oh, I thought you'd done yours because I thought it was Bloodlands.
No, I've got another one though.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Go on, quick then.
Okay, I think you'll like this one, Ian. Actually, I think you might watch it. It opened on ITV to its biggest ratings and its biggest launch ever. It's on its 4th series. It's written by Chris Lang, directed by Andy Wilson. It stars the amazing Nicola Walker and also Sanjeev Bhaskar as well. And basically, it follows DCI Cassie Stewart and DI Sunny Khan, and they're basically solving cold cases of disappearance and murder. I give you Unforgotten. Absolutely fantastic. Series 4. It opens up with an episode of a decapitated body in a freezer. It's got no head, got no hands. And as always, it goes on to different characters and their lives and stuff like that. I'm only going to give away the bit of the first episode because it sets up the plot, basically. So they found this body, and it's showing you 4 different people, 4 different families. The main character in it, who is Nicola Walker, Cassie Stewart, has come back into the force because they basically said, if you don't come back, you're not going to get your pension. So you need to come back, don't you, love? So she's livid. She comes back. She's got a point to make. And it turns out that the 4 people that this is centred around are all ex-Bobbies. Potentially, one of those ex-police officers decapitated this person and put him in a freezer. And it is very, very, very good. And the good thing about this as well, which was very different to Marcella that we watched on the ITV Hub, is similar to Bloodlands. You can't download it, which I like. It's like old TV where you have to tune in next week. So it's on ITV, and I think it's Monday nights, and it's Unforgotten. Ian, if you've never seen it, please give this series a watch. It is brilliant.
I saw episode 1 and we are hooked, but we are watching it a bit later because of work.
Yeah. Very good, though. Give it a go, Ian.
No, it's on ITV, isn't it? I'm slightly allergic to ITV drama, I will be honest.
Oh, because you're a snob.
No, it's just because of the adverts. It really bugs me. So I have to watch it on download. Sorry.
You've never been the same, have you, since the South Bank show got axed?
Yeah, that's very true. And that was this week's On The Box. Apologies if I was slightly distant then. I was just noticing that we are stuttering and stammering all over the place on the streams. So I am hoping that we are back on and working. So if you are watching on the streams, I'm sorry, this is live streaming. That's what happens. Right, Damien, have you got a Damien's Bits?
I have, yes.
Is it a good Damien's Bits?
I think he'll just do it, actually. It's part of the item, so whether it's good or not is irrelevant. It's part of the show. Thanks.
Yeah, we may have to have a discussion about it. Isn't that right, Down?
I hate Damien's Bits. It just goes on.
I'll tell you what, honestly, I wish you'd go on.
It's true, though.
I'm a flipping cliff.
Damien's Bits.
Damien loves his bits. He loves showing off his bits. He loves talking about his bits. So it's time for Damien's Bits.
This is a bit of the show where we hand over to Damien for his Damien's Bits. The bits my other partner likes to call slightly too American and nice. So, Damien, what bits are you displaying this week?
These are very short bits, and I think that's the way we're going to do Damien's Bits from now. Just short, snappy bits, and their stories mostly centering around sex, porn, and sleaze.
Yeah, which is what we like.
Okay, so here's the first one. Former Sex Pistols, or even Sex Pistols. That sounds better, doesn't it?
Sex Pistols?
John Lydon, who we all know hates telly and swears a lot.
Isn't he the one that said the C word on TV?
I think he did, yeah.
It was on Big Brother, that was it, yes.
Well, the poor bloke recently was rescuing some squirrels. The 64-year-old, known as Johnny Rotten, said that after this little heroic act of saving the squirrels, he was bitten on his penis by a flea.
A flea?
By a flea, yeah.
Was it in or out at the time? I got to ask the question.
Well, he's just said that he had flea bites over several parts of his body after he befriended the squirrels, who were hanging around his house in Venice Beach. Get that in there. Last night, he said that the one that was the itchiest was at the end of the shaft.
Nice.
Well, and obviously he hasn't got protection like me and Darren. You haven't either, have you, Damien? So you revealed last week.
That reminds me, review of the new Jewish documentary of... Right, okie dokie. So, another
Damien, can I just ask, are you actually of that faith?
Well, I don't think we really need to talk about this now, do we, to be honest?
No, but I'm just interested.
Well, I mean, I couldn't weed properly, all right? It just was going everywhere, so I had to slice me.
Bit like a hose pipe if you stop it with your finger.
Well, that's what my exes say. It's just, sorry, that's even my... But to slice me. I know what's going to be the trailer for next week's show. For God's sake. Right, next bit. A 23-year-old man and his 76-year-old wife have opened up an OnlyFans account. So that is a 23-year-old man and his 76-year-old wife to share saucy content with paying punters. Imelda and Gary Hardwick from Tennessee married 2 weeks after meeting at her... Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. They actually met at her son's Robert's funeral. That's not a place to meet, is it? God.
She's 76 and he is 20.
Well, they reached a dead end.
Oh, dear.
Stop it.
For those that don't...
Anyway.
Do you know what OnlyFans is, Darren?
Of course he does.
No.
This is the man last week who was on about Tinder. Oh, yeah, I don't know what that is, Damien. Yeah. Let me just have a swap here. Anyway, Gary was aged just 17 at the time and had just emerged from a relationship with a 77-year-old. He describes Imelda as a wonderful lover and promises fully explicit content on their OnlyFans account. So if you are into a bit of 76-year-old and 22-year-old fun, OnlyFans is the place to go. Darren, where are you going? Darren?
Saddle sore wasn't in it.
And finally, last Damien's bit, because I like these, they're condensed, doesn't go on. German police are now investigating after a 7-foot wooden sculpture vanished from a mountainside where it appeared without explanation several years ago. The 7-foot wooden sculpture of a penis vanished. The immense phallus seems to have been chopped down over the weekend, leaving behind only a pile of sawdust on the Gruntin Mountain in southern Bavaria. Those were Damien's bits. Goodbye.
I think the captain's got some questions for you.
Move on. That's Damien's bits. No end there. You don't need to ask about it.
Okay.
It was a wooden penis chopped down. It's gone. All right? OnlyFans, 77-year-old, and a flea bite on his penis. Move on.
Damn, wrong music. There. Now, so we finished Damien's bits. I'm gonna ask about the OnlyFans because as if people on YouTube know, Philip DeFranco, he's been around. He's one of the old school YouTubers. He quite often says sex work is work. I am not going to diminish anyone for doing OnlyFans to make extra money.
People make a fortune.
They do make an absolute fortune out of it.
Fortune. Yeah.
And not everyone on OnlyFans is smutty work. Sometimes it is.
No, I mean, Karen and I did a peek.
Yours was on XTube, mate. I know it was. Yes. So anyway, where was I? OnlyFans. Yes. So it's one of those things, and it's never.
Can I just correct you? It's not only the fans.
I know. Sorry, it's OnlyFans.
It's OnlyFans.
I know.
And yeah, there's a lot of people on OnlyFans,
particularly during lockdown.
Pardon?
Particularly during lockdown.
There is indeed, yeah. And I was thinking that these three media,
the X-rated naked special.
It'd be great.
I don't know anything about OnlyFans.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
So basically, it's people that they do their own self-produced pornography. A lot of it is. A lot of it is,
photos.
Yeah, or photos.
Lots of photos.
And it is of the more explicit nature. that they put out on there, and then you pay a subscription every month of like £6 or £10 or whatever to access that content.
Now, if you can imagine the headline for this,
watch your hands.
If you imagine this,
watch what your hands are doing.
Stop it. If you can imagine the headline or even the picture, it could be Ian and I in like sort of leather coats and like little hats. And then there he is. We could have dog leads, the two of us, going right down to Darren with a dog collar on, with a bone in his mouth.
Suddenly, this is a joyful.
This is 3 Men and a Microphone podcast.
And that's where that bit ends.
Oh, God, we had to get the porno one in there.
I was about to say before the jingle cut me off. That's a George
Another
Michael
dog
music
collar.
video.
It is.
Called Shoot the Dog. Do you remember that?
I'm gonna shoot the dog. I've got to say, out of 43 shows, this has to be one of my favourites. That was brilliant. Me and Ian, we've got to get a caricature of me and Ian with you, with no top on and your hairy chest, with a dog collar.
Can you just Photoshop the CD cover of Shoot the Dog or something? Or Creep,
my
something
Lord.
by George Michael.
Even on Facebook, Anthony's just turned around and said, "I'd pay to see that. Brilliant. I think I'd pay to do it. To be honest,
No.
Let's get him on."
That can be our Patreon special offer, Damien.
Oh dear, what a show! Damien's bits, anyway. More of those little snippets and funny stories next week.
Just a little question for people that are watching on live. If we were to do a special episode where it's not edited in any way. Basically, I'm thinking to be rip off Chris Moore's pubcast when we can meet up. Would people be interested in seeing that?
I've got a venue for us, by the way.
Oh, have you for the other thing?
Yeah.
Oh, have
an
you?
actual pub that will actually. No, it's not. No. It's an actual pub with actual tickets to be sold. Yeah. We'll talk off air.
Oh, okay. Where?
Sorry?
It's not the Washford Mill, is it?
No, it's definitely not the Washford Mill. No.
I was going to say, I'm not coming to Redditch. I got too much history there.
Just confused, though. I don't know what the red light is outside it. We'll have a look.
Yeah. Is it by a landscape gardening company?
I think it is, yeah.
Right. What are we? Okay, so let's do Retro Hall of Fame. Yes, let's do that. Right, bear with me 1 second, people. I need glasses. Sorry, I can't find my Retro Hall of Fame. Ah, there we are. Retro Hall of Fame music. Right. Going swimmingly. Clean edit. So, this is a part of the show where we have the Retro Hall of Fame. This is where guests or us pick an item to go into the Retro Hall of Fame. So far, we have had entries from and successful entries from Joe Lycett, Lisa Appleton, Elliot Kennedy, and Anthony from last week with his Thunderbirds. If you want to submit a Retro Hall of Fame idea and appear on the show, then we will give you details of that at the end of this feature. I'll tell you how you can do that. So this week, we have another special guest for the Retro Hall of Fame. And Darren, I'm going to hand over to you for a short introduction, please, for who this Retro Hall of Fame is from.
This Retro Hall of Fame is from she corrected me, she's not a tribute act. She does a Tina Turner full show. It's a tribute to her full touring show. She's got a full band, backing singers, dancers, light show, the lot, everything in the style of Tina Turner. She does the voice, the outfits, and all that kind of stuff. And she's chosen our Retro Hall of Fame for this week.
And it is, as that's part of the introduction.
It is.
Oh, God, that was awful. Do you know what I mean?
Can't remember.
I can't believe that's just happened.
I have tweeted out that we are doing this bit on the live show, so if you are watching, I apologise. It is Justine Riddoch from Totally Tina is picking the Retro Hall of Fame.
It was amazing, by the way, and thank you so much for this. Darren, after the show, we need to have a chat. Because I'm not mad, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed.
Hang on, before you carry on, I thought you were asking me what was her Retro Hall of Fame?
No, I was asking you to introduce it, you idiot.
Absolutely.
Her name is Justine, yeah.
Yeah, Justine Riddoch. That's what I said. Introduce. Oh, I'm just going to play it. Be quiet now. This is this week's Retro Hall of Fame.
It's time to delve into the archive for the Retro Hall of Fame on the Three Men and a Microphone podcast.
Okay, let's do a Retro Hall of Fame anyway. So all of my guests get to do one of these anyway, and it's part of the brand Three Men and a Microphone, which is what you will be part of. What's your Retro Hall of Fame?
Right, could you run upstairs? Sorry, I have my drummer here with me. Could you run upstairs and get me any one of my Tina thousands of shoes, sparkly ones, please, as sparkly as possible. Right, okay. So ladies will be able. It's got to be clothing and it's got to be Tina related. So ladies are going to have to choose this, and you've got the negative and you've got the positive of them. So once we've grabbed one of these, I think I know exactly what it's going to be, and it's definitely Tina related. And it's not anything like my gym shoes. I've only just started this this month. I thought, lockdown has not been kind. I've got to get back into these tiny costumes.
Oh dear. Well, we've all been there. We're all there. I mean, I'm looking forward to the 12th of April when I can actually go to the gym and watch telly.
I've avoided the gym for 28 years. That'll do. That's it. Right, okay. So this is going to be from the 1980s and is still very, very popular today. It's going to be a stiletto shoe. Ooh. Famous for what, Tina? I've got something like 150 pairs of these. And they're all crystalled. As you can see, they've all got crystals on them. And with these shoes, as any lady who started wearing them in the 80s will tell you, especially trying to dance, it was agony. By the end of the night, your feet were squished into the bottom of them. Your toes were all crushed. Everyone who was born in the 80s and wore these has got feet that shape. A chiropodist still tell you that. Nowadays, they've got pads and things, and they've got things that you can put in them. But lots of ladies still wear them now. One, because how amazing they make your legs look. They're really, really sexy. And I'd say they're the most iconic shoe that women can buy. We've had Cubans and platforms and wedges and stacks and everything. But whenever you come back to a lady looking elegant, or a Tina impersonator, this is the staple, most important thing that definitely should stay around. It should not be, even though they cause terrible pain and they're agony, and you want every single pair of them, because men hate the fact that we have 150 pairs of these in our wardrobes, but they have to stay for us girls.
Well, we'll have to see what the vote says anyway to see if it goes into the Retro Hall of Fame or if it goes into the big black hole of abyss, never to be seen or mentioned again. I have a problem with those because I'm only 5'2" or 5'3". Richard Hammond is taller than I am. Right?
Well, this is it. You see, if you started wearing these, you'd be all right. So
when I met my wife, in trainers and slippers and normal shoes, I'm taller than her. The minute she puts them on, game over.
You see, this is the vote, you see, because, exactly those reasons. You can actually turn to the point that's saying, well, I don't like somebody in those heels because they're taller than me. Yeah. Or they're complaining at the end of the night because their feet are hurting and I want to stay out for another hour. Yeah. But when it comes to being Tina in these shoes, I'll put it back again. I don't know if you can see my feet right there. Just about. So once you're in your Tina heels and you're doing the same sort of moves, it just makes you become Tina, and it makes you feel cool and sexy the way she does.
Fabulous.
It's time to delve into the archive for the Retro Hall of Fame on the Three Men and a Microphone podcast.
So there we have Justine Riddoch's Retro Hall of Fame, which is 80s stiletto shoes. Now, I can pretty much guarantee what Damien's answer is going to be for this, but we will discuss. Thank you very much to Justine. Very, very good Retro Hall of Fame. She's funny.
Awesome.
She is awesome.
She's so funny. And do you know what I love as well in that interview? Where she kind of goes... Can you go and get me some
drummer? Go and get me my shoes.
Shiny shoes.
Yes.
Just
Get me my shiny shoes.
Make sure they're shiny and make sure they're tall.
Yes,
Go.
and glittery and everything like that.
I love her. She's ace. Let's get her on.
The Retro Hall of Fame. Well, she is going to be on the interviews. We will let you know about that shortly. So, Darren, can I have your vote, please, for the 80s stiletto shoes into the Retro Hall of Fame from a red-blooded man's point of view?
Can I... I'm going to give you my answer, then I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
It's a no.
Oh, why?
Because I'm Richard Hammond height.
Yes.
So every woman that I date or marry... Sorry, like I'm married loads.
Well, you're on bloody Grindr.
Like you've dated loads as well, to be fair.
Yeah, dated loads. Soon as... In barefoot, fine. Trainers, fine. The minute the shoes go on, they're taller than me. So I hate high heel stiletto shoes. In fact, I hate anything with a heel. So for me, it's a no, because those shoes make me look like they're taking me out instead of me taking them out.
Damien.
Yeah, I'm going to give you two answers. So the first one
Well,
is...
it's a yes or no answer.
You'll be quiet and you'll wait. The first one is the fact that I love stilettos. I'm a very leggy man. Not me, but I do like my legs, and I do think stilettos just accentuate the leg. But we're talking retro here, and something that is smooth legs.
Oh, legs.
Bed, don't you?
Men, we're men.
Legs. Anyway, getting back to it. 3 minute microphone for everybody. Women, men, we culture for all. Cater, thank you. So, I don't know where that was going. They're not really retro for me. It's a pair of shoes. I love Tina, but it's just... They're not retro. Retro is your Tracks and your Thunderbirds, and stilettos are still out now.
Okay.
I don't want to hear any. No, I don't want to hear any.
No, that's fine. So yours is a no. Darren's is a
It's
no.
a no from me.
The general consensus of people watching us live, which you can do every Wednesday evening, 8 o'clock on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, is a no as well. Mine was going to be a yes, because I think shoes like that are amazing, and they look fabulous. And I think that if our idea sort of pays off and we actually do it, I want to be wearing them, basically. So I'm going to ask you if I can borrow them, actually. But it does look like, unfortunately, that the 80s stiletto shoes is not going into the Retro Hall of Fame. And you know what that means. We have to open up the hole of despair. I am sorry, Justine. They did not make it. Hopefully, she will still be happy for the interview to go out. Which is when, Darren?
This coming Sunday.
It is Sunday morning, 6 o'clock, on this very this very podcast feed even. You'll be able to listen to the full interview that Darren had with Justine. And it's a very good interview, and you'll be able to listen to that from 6 a.m. on Sunday morning on this feed. And talking of that, I might as well announce it now, that we will have a brand new podcast launching in the next couple of weeks. Let me come out of this music and I will give you more details. So yes, launching in about a month's time or so, we will have a brand new podcast from D3 Media called The Interviews. So it is basically going to be how this podcast started all the way back in May, June time, when I started to release interview episodes. So I did the likes of Joe Lycett, Lucas McFarlane, British Got Talent winner, Damien, Darren. I also did Paul, and quite a few. There's loads. You can go and listen to them on this feed. But we are bringing it back for a second season, and we're going to call it The Interviews, and it'll be a brand new podcast all on its own. I am going to be interviewing over the next week or so, and I'm really, really excited about this one. Lord Michael Cashman, who is former EastEnders actor, was all involved in that first gay storyline in EastEnders, does a lot for LGBT rights, and is a very, very interesting man. So I'll be doing an interview with him on Monday, which will go out in a month or so. And I'm also
that is a huge scoop as well.
It is.
And I started watching EastEnders. It scares me actually because I've got a young daughter. And I started watching it around her age, and I think to myself, my goodness. But I always remember he played a guy in EastEnders. I think it was Barry. I want to say Barry. No, his partner was Barry. Colin, he played.
Yes.
And he used to have a really plush, 80s house, but he had a computer, and it was a CPC 464, an Amstrad, same computer I had. And I remember that vividly, and I also remember the Sun newspaper having the tagline, because basically Barry, Colin's partner, kissed him on the head, and it was on the front of the Sun, East, and not a very nice word that sounds a bit like Enders. And it just shows you how
it was.
far
I'll say the headline. It was the headline was EastBenders, and it was one of the worst headlines that the Sun has done.
And for me, who my best friend's gay, I go to Gay Pride every year. Probably not you. You're a good number 21. But that is just an amazing. And for me, I will 100% get a cup of tea and listen to that from start to finish, because for me that is intriguing, and that's one of the things that I will say about the podcast that's coming out, the interviews. There are some really fascinating guests coming up, completely different from this show. You probably see the more serious side of Darren, myself, and Ian. It's going to be my new podcast, my new favourite podcast.
After this one, obviously. So, yes, the interviews podcast will launch at the end of this, in about a month's time for when you listen to this. We're getting everything together. So there'll be interviews from myself. I'm interviewing a gentleman called Simon Dunn as well, who was the first ever gay bobsleigh athlete, but he's also a big campaigner from that, and he lives in Australia, so I'm recording that next Wednesday after we do this show. And Darren's got the Bold Builders, I believe, is one of the ones.
Yeah, they are an internet sensation. Yeah.
Chrissy Rock, is that the right name?
From Benidorm.
Benidorm. So we've got lots of interviews planned, so stick around and we'll give you more information about how you can subscribe to that. But the interviews podcast will launch soon, and we have another podcast launching soon as well, which we'll give you more details on later on. So there you go.
From a very, very good production company.
Yes, these three media. Thank you very much.
Who would know?
We may have some more podcasts coming up shortly as well, if we can get them all working. Right, should we do a goodbye? I think so. Yes. Clean edit in a minute. There we go. And that is it for this week's episode of Three Men and a Microphone. Thank you so much for listening and downloading. Don't forget, if you do enjoy this podcast, leave us a rating on iTunes, on Google, on Spotify, wherever you pick us up. Leave us a rating and a review. And tell your friends, share it, and ask them to subscribe as well, because we think they're going to enjoy it. So, thank you, Darren.
Thank you very much for having me, and I've enjoyed it immensely. Ian, thank you for being the captain and driving it. Damien Tarr.
Damien, thank you.
Do you know what? I really appreciate you, Ian, and it's always nice when Daniel comes on the show as well. It is absolutely fantastic. If you get a letter about your jab, go and have it. Go and have your jab, because it's majorly important to all the anti-vaxxers.
Very true. So we'll be back again next week for more Three Men and a Microphone. Don't forget, check out the website, threemenandthemicrophone.co.uk. If you want to find us on Twitter, then you can do, just search Three Men and the Microphone. Same on Facebook. And if you want to submit a Retro Hall of Fame, go over to the website and do it on there. Until next week, look after yourselves. Thank you so much for listening. Three Men and a Microphone has been a These Three media production. Look after yourselves. Same place, same time next week. That didn't really work, but you know what I mean. Bye! Same time, same place, same what? It's a podcast. People listen whenever.
I know. Have you ever had like a really hard?
We're still on Facebook, Damien, as you know.
Normally, when I'm looking at stilettos, yeah.
I just want to give my nose a good peck. Sorry.
Beg your pardon.
Can you hear that?
Oh.
And that's where we end it. Just that little bit, stick on at the end after the jingle for no one will listen to. But anyway, right. Thank you very much to everyone who's been watching on Facebook and YouTube. Much appreciated. We'll be back again next Wednesday evening. You're right there, Damien. Are you in a rush? Oh my God, look at the chins. Look at the chins. The lighting is not good. That's just weird. Right.
Mate.
Thank you very much to everyone that has been watching. Thank you to Anthony, Dunk, Damien, to Colin and Bryn. On mine,
rabbit.
yeah. To all the people that are watching on my Facebook feed as well. Thank you. We will be back again next week from 8 p.m. on Wednesday, barring any other changes and other people getting sick and all that sort of stuff. So until then, look after yourselves. Thank you so much for watching. Go and check the website, and don't forget to share the podcast. Good night, everybody. Good night.
See you guys.
Night.